Okay, it's running now. Alright, so we'll continue on. We're going to remove the motherboard, the main board. We remove the upper cables first. The USB cable comes out straight up out of the top. The 30-pin flat flex cable, we remove that by putting our fingernail in here and running it back and forth. I'm actually going to put one back in so you can see. We'll do it again in a second, but this is the hardest part. So I've reinserted that. There's a little brown clip that goes in. Notice it's the top connector, not the auxiliary, but the primary connector. Okay, to remove it, you take your fingernail and put it right here and move it back and forth. And you will feel it open itself up. There, it clicked, and now you just pop it right out. Okay, now we got that. Now, only take the screws out from the back. Don't take them from the front. And in case you need reference, there is a silt screen on the cover. You just flip it over. Silt screen on the cover lets you see the position X, Y, and Z. So I am now taking out the M3 screws. Oh, I almost forgot. If you want to get this board in and out safely, easily, you need the ball screw at the bottom, which I may not be able to do by hand. So I will run it down with my fingers. You must run it all the way down. You can do this before it turns on, or in your case, I guess you may not have electricity or it might not be running because of communication. So just turn it down. I'm turning it with my fingers now. You can see it going down. Wow, that's oily. Hang on a second. Brand new ball screw has lots of oil on it. Makes sense. There we go. Now you can see the notch in the board. You want to get down to where this is as low as the notch in the board. Then the board will come in and out easily. Alright, we got a couple more screws to go. I've got one right here. And I think there might be one more. Yeah, one more right up there. Don't move it so much, Linda. They're gonna make them sick.
I can't see from here.
Then pan slowly. There we go. Alright, so here's the board. Alright, and now we have to get the board out. In order to get that out, I may have to go a little bit lower here. Okay, so we are trying to get the board to come out, and it's still got to go a little bit lower. And my fingers are slippery. Wow, it's not cooperating. Now I'm just going to go. Well, despite my trying, it just came out. So, to get this to come out, you have to get it up high enough. See how this almost doesn't clear the ball screw? So we have to take the ball screw. It's almost there. Your ball screw will undoubtedly be not quite as slippery. These have not been wiped down. This one was a brand new ball screw, still coming with the factory oil on it. There. Now you notice it just slips right out. Again, take the ball screw down before you try to go in or out with this. Just run it right down to the bottom. Okay, so now you have a board you would like to reinstall. You're going to stick the head in like this. It's going to go up and goes above the ball screw and then comes right back down. And then you will see that we can put the connectors in the holes. And now once the connectors are in the holes, everything starts to line up nicely. Okay.
The screw with a star washer.
It's a split washer. Just start the one screw here, right above the battery holder, and yes, it's normal for the battery holder to have no battery in it. That is used for a different option that we never use, so there's no battery in it, so we can ship it international without getting in any trouble. It's possible that someday in the future we will use a battery, but it's not currently in any of the designs that we're doing. I get asked that a lot, so I thought I'd preemptively answer that question. Installed. You only tighten them finger tight, just, you know, a little bit of torque. Now, I like to put in the Y cable first. And if you look at these, there's two little ridges on here. The two little ridges go towards the center of the board. They polarize it. There are also two ridges on each end of the connector. Those little ridges are keyed and they're off center. So if you look, you'll see them. You line this up, and once you line it up, you can just reach right in there and push it right in. So that is my Y. Next, I'm going to go ahead and hook in my Z. Oops. Now, if you guys look, this is a big mistake. I plugged this in, and there's no motor stamp right here. I plugged it in the wrong slot. It has to go the next one down. That's actually in the W motor position. So we'll correct that before we do anything. Everyone wants to know what a W motor does for. Can't tell you. It's top secret. Someday you'll see us doing rotary prints and you'll understand. Okay, that's in now. Okay. Next comes my Z. Same thing. Look for the little polarizing tabs and make sure you line up on them accordingly. In this case, the little tabs on the side, they go towards the motor stamps. We have had people force these in backwards. If you do that, it will not work. I think it launches missiles in third world countries, I'm not sure. Anyway, here we go. You'll lay your cable in like that. The next thing to do is bring your power connector in. It goes like this. You line it up on the connectors, on the cables, on the pins. Make sure you're getting lined up. And then I get it about there, and then I take my flat blade screwdriver and I just push it right on over. Just notice how I'm using my thumb to push on the screwdriver. I'm not doing anything else. So I get the screwdriver put in place and just press with my thumb. There you go. And then here is the RS-232, and it is also polarized. You'll see that. So this goes right there. All right, we're getting close. And now I run my USB up. This particular one is pretty unruly. It goes all the way north, and then it takes a U-turn and comes right back around and goes right into a USB connector right here. Up on the top, please. I think you see it right. Good. All right, so now I'm going to plug it in. And this USB is for the yoke. So your camera and your yoke and everything runs off of that. Okay, so at that point you would reinstall your flat flex cable. Again, this little brown latch needs to be down. And again, it goes into the primary yoke slot, that is the upper slot. The blue tab is facing you, not the fingers. So you can see there are exposed contacts. They go underneath. You slip it like that. You notice that's up in, it's even across the bottom. And you just push up on the brown, just like that. Okay, that's done on this side. And now you would turn it around and do the same thing for your two connectors under here. Your two flat ribbon cables, they go underneath here, plug them in, and that's all it requires. Alright, I hope you guys don't have to do this very often.